this is what has turned Apple from using ChatGPT as the basis for next-gen Siri to using Gemini. They announced Flash 3.5 Flash, Gemini 3.5 Flash, with this whole thing being that it is about 4 times faster than GPT 5.5. And they showed a load of benchmarks where in about 50% of benchmarks, it's more or less as good as GPT 5.5. And the benchmarks where it matches 5.5 were the really key stuff that you would want for integrating into a phone. So like academic research to give you information about a topic or interacting with a UI. And so my take is this is what has turned Apple from using ChatGPT as the basis for next-gen Siri to using Gemini as the basis for next-gen Siri. The speed versus the quality of results is probably the really big thing, because like the Apple experience of AI needs to be super slick. Apple does not want it to be waiting around watching dots spin while you wait for an answer. It wants it to be a really low latency back and forth experience with a certain level of quality. And I was like, 3.5 Flash seems designed basically for this.
Yes.
And then once you added in Gemini Spark and some of the other things that they showed that it could do, I was like, oh, well, I wouldn't be surprised if this was it as well. The idea of being able to do what you're saying, create the widgets, ask these questions that like can make changes based on information that's at an OS level. Apple can give those keys to Gemini. Apple can take Gemini and build it into iOS in a way that it can do the same thing as it's going to do on Android. But for iOS, Apple already has the Shortcuts app and all these APIs that it controls that I'm sure Google will have just said, you just tell us what you want it to do and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, actually, that was an exact story this week. There was a rumor that as part of iOS 27, you'll be able to say to Siri what type of shortcut you want, and it will just generate it for you. Because at the moment, it's kind of like this inaccessible system, which is super hard to know how it works.